Hello and grand day. I am Jade Harrell and welcome to SLATE, the force behind St. Louis's workforce. Well, today we're talking about opportunity, empowerment, and investment in the future through our young people. Joining us today is Dr. Adam Pearson, Director of the City of St. Louis Department of Human Services. Thank you, Adam, for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I
Dr.
appreciate
Pearson,
it.
I should say. We've been getting to know each other before before we started and feeling comfortable. But let's talk about the bigger picture. What is this partnership between the Department of Human Services and SLATE, and why does it matter?
Yes, absolutely. So first and foremost, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I am extremely excited, as are all of us at the Department of Human Services and at the St. Louis Agency for Training and Employment, to launch the Youth Empowerment Program.
Yeah.
And so each year, the Department of Human Services gets around $1.4 million from what's called the Economic Development Fund.
Okay.
And that money is supposed to go to various youth empowerment programs around the city.
Nice.
So this past year, well, I should say this current year, we have selected SLATE as an organization that we wanted to invest in. SLATE does phenomenal work and has been doing phenomenal work for decades as the city's, powerhouse for training and employment. And we were thinking, as a department through our youth and family division, what programs can we launch to encourage youth to get engaged in the community, well, youth and young adults to get engaged in the community, pick up job skills, learn to network, learn about different work tasks and all of that. And so we are partnering with SLATE to launch this program for young people ages 19 to 24 to be able to find some work in the community, be supported for 10 weeks, and to make a pretty decent wage, $20 an hour.
$20 an hour?
$20 an hour. And so we're excited about it, and we're looking forward to that engagement.
We are too. Now, you're working with younger demographics than you may have done in years prior. You said this was a repeat funding for this type of work. With the young people specifically with SLATE, what can they expect and to experience in 10 weeks time?
In 10 weeks time, it goes by fast sometimes. So the idea is for the young folks to identify what sort of work or industry that they're interested in. And there's a number of different opportunities, healthcare, manufacturing, even work done in city employment and forestry division, for example. And so they would identify the type of work that they're interested in. They would go on the website to apply for it, tell us a little bit about themselves, their demographics, where they're from, and their goals, right? And so at that point, they would be connected to employers that would then partner with them to develop job skills for a specific task. And so I think they would be placed at an employment setting, would be supported via that employment. Obviously, they would have SLATE team members to check in with them, see how they're doing, and they would learn a little bit about the workforce as they get ready to sort of launch on their own.
That's a bit of a different approach, get a sense, a barometer of where they may be, given some ideas and encouragement to discover professions and areas that they may not have considered, and then place.
Yes.
So many models in the past and recent history, you go and you don't know until after you get in there whether or not you like it, it's a good fit. So that's an interesting way to approach it. Why did you all decide to do the discovery portion first and then get the placement?
I think I think we're thinking through what would be the most appropriate placement based off of what their skill sets are, based on what their interests are. And granted, it's only a 10-week program, and so it's not like an extremely long time to develop a broad portfolio of skills. But I think it's enough time to where they could say, you know what, I'm kind of interested in healthcare. Let me dabble in this for this 10 weeks and see if it's something that I want to get into long term, and maybe this can be a jump off point for some future job applications, and maybe they learn to really enjoy healthcare or manufacturing, whatever it may be. And so it's a short engagement, but it also allows us an opportunity to get a feel for what their interests are on the front end.
Sure. So if I'm understanding correctly, they get to spend the 10 weeks learning about and in more depth an area or industry. Is that correct?
Well, I think they're learning on the job. And so
Okay.
they're actually
Yes.
they're actually doing the work. And
Okay.
so they'll be employed working on whatever the setting is or the work tasks. And hopefully supervisors will kind of check in with them, teach them the ropes, show them the ropes. But along the way, they'll get some training and valuable insights, hopefully some
Absolutely.
mentorship,
Absolutely.
in partnership with SLATE.
Sure. This is different than in summer. See, because 10 weeks summer can be gone. That's why I guess you are very excited. This is youth empowerment for something broader and beyond. So if any of them are glossing over, like, well, yeah, and then we forgot to emphasize, it's paid.
It's paid.
$20.
That's right.
Per hour.
That's right.
While you're learning
Yeah.
and developing on the job. So you're not just spinning your wheels before you can get hired and productive.
And a lot of people have downtime in the summer, and I think this gives people an opportunity to really expand, their knowledge about the different industries out there. And so for somebody who is looking for work or is interested in finding work, doesn't quite know where to start, maybe they've been to job fairs before and have not really been successful and need a more sort of guided approach into the workforce, I think this program could be a good fit.
For sure. It sounds like you got a good reason for saying that.
Absolutely.
Removing barriers is what I hear.
That's what it's about. Yeah.
What are some key barriers that you're hoping to overcome with this program in particular and this approach?
Well, I think maybe, the thing that a lot of us think about is the barriers to actually applying for a job and getting a job. There have been some people out there who have not been successful in that approach. I think the meaningful aspect of this partnership for me is that SLATE has a very great team. They have a large team, and they can really walk with people through the process of gaining employment, maintaining employment, improving job skills, helping to sort of spread people's understanding about how to engage in the workforce. So I think that one of the barriers is people's lack of knowledge about the process for getting a job. For a lot of people, it could be very complicated. Maybe there are some testing requirements or whatever it may be. I think this gives people an opportunity to learn a little bit more, kind of, getting their foot in the door, so as to say.
Too. That sounds very exciting to us as well. And with 10 weeks, you've got a little bit more of a runway there before you make a long-term decision. Well, when we know that they're intimidated by that, Dr. Pearson, I would love for you to share some encouragement for a young person who may feel a little uncertain or not as confident to go ahead and sign up and get involved in this program.
Yes, the encouragement would be it's $20 an hour.
Right. What more do we need to say?
What more
So, you want to get paid?
right. So I think, but I think outside of that, it is earning a competitive wage. It is figuring out a little bit about what you're interested in and what the diversity of the workforce is.
Indeed.
And all of that. So I think if you're interested, if you're just curious, check out the website.
For sure.
And go ahead and apply for it.
Well, thank you for directing those funds and energy toward the SLATE program and our young people for empowerment, and definitely the work that you're doing and continue to do with the Department of Human Services.
There we go. My pleasure.
Really great to have Dr. Pearson with us to share how the Youth Empowerment Program is helping invest in the next generation of St. Louis's talent and leadership. It's programs like these that remind us that workforce development is also community development. And when young people are supported, our entire city grows stronger. To learn more about SLATE programs and opportunities, visit the SLATE Missouri Center or call 314-589-8000. Don't wait, call SLATE. I'm Jade Harrell, and this has been SLATE, the force behind St. Louis's workforce. We'll see you next time.